Welcome back to the Change Physician. I'm Melissa Katie, the Challenge Doctor, with my co-host, Dr. Kevin Cuccaro, on a Sunday Salutations with the Change Physician. If you don't know what the Change Physician is all about, go to thechangephysician.com to join the community, whether you're a physician or a physician ally. We'd love to see you in the community, but this is where we chat about recent episodes, upcoming episodes, and or just thoughts about current events. Or some of our favorite things. So, of course, the chance for Kevin and I to say hi. So, hi, Kevin.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hi. How are you?
I'm great.
Yeah.
I'm a little off on my sleep schedule because we went to see a late showing of Avatar last night.
Oh, how was it?
I loved it.
Yeah, I want to see that. And here's the kicker on that is, so a year ago, Dune came out, and I really wanted to see. I really want to see it, and I went and I loved it. But I hated the movie experience. Like, it made me so angry when they did 40 minutes of commercials, and I was like, these are not fun commercials. These aren't like trailer commercials. These were literally the same commercials that you've been showing us while we sat here waiting for the movie to start. And I was so angry. I ended up buying a big TV because I'm like, I'm never going back to the movie again.
No.
But Avatar, I think I want to see it in IMAX. Like,
we saw IMAX 3D.
Oh, geez.
And
is it still glasses and stuff? Like,
yeah.
They don't make you nauseous or
No, doesn't bother me. When you first put them on, it's an adjustment, but then you forget you had them on. Except for if they're a little too tight, you might notice that. But no, but yeah, Avatar: The Way of Water. My husband and I, he had the Blu-ray. We watched that on earlier in the week. Watched the original one from way back, and we discovered that there's going to be 3 others after the second one we just saw last night, and it'll be in, I think, 2024, 2026, and 2028. I will be at all of them. I'm not like a huge movie buff. I don't know all the stuff. But for some reason, I even bought a little shirt. It says Savako on it. Rise to the challenge is what the Na'vi language, that word stands for. And of course, my nickname is the Challenge Doctor. So it's hard not to like that. So yeah. So I someone had asked me, why do you love that movie so much? They're like, it's like the white man taking over the Indians. I'm like, I don't really think of it like that. I think it was just humanity and like the interesting psychology of humans and how we treat others and judge people, and then the whole dilemma of the ecology, the whole system, and how we're treating Earth. And it just makes you really think about a lot of things, like how you treat others, how you judge others, the dynamics of people and how they interact, and learn to trust each other. And then, how do you really nurture the nature that's around you versus just destroying it.
Are you talking about the old movie or the new movie? Or
I'm
both?
saying both.
Okay.
Yeah. It's each one has demonstrated those dilemmas of humanity. So yeah, I don't know. There's something about it. And let's not forget, like, the visual effects of that movie, it is hands down like awesome. Like, there's no complaints about the visual effects and the draw it has.
Well, and that's the thing, James Cameron is just like amazing because he makes these movies and then he pushes the technology ahead, like the whole cinematography thing and special effects. But he doesn't do it like Lucas. He does it so it actually fits the story and the visual, the advancement in the technology that supports the visuals advances the story versus Lucas, who, does whatever he does. And of course, I'm thinking about the prequel trilogy to Star Wars, where he had all this fancy stuff and the story sucked super bad. But I like his stuff. And
and there's also a little Maori New Zealand kind of it's kind of infused into that setting as well. And also, the New Zealand government, there's a lot of after production stuff done in New Zealand, I think it was Wellington. Anyway, so there's just, I don't know what it is about it. I love it. Even if people think it's like the same story and old, I'm like, but it has a totally different twist, and we still have dilemmas of humanity. Like, it may not be, nonfiction, which I'm a big nonfiction reader, but this is the kind of fiction I enjoy, of being
big and bold and epic and entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Well, and let's not forget too that I love going to Disney World and be on their ride in Pandora. Like that is the best. I am the kind of person that would do every roller coaster, do all the things. Nothing bothers me. I don't have the whole inner ear getting nauseated from any ride. Even if you spin me with centripetal force, like it doesn't affect me like other people. So that 3-minute ride or however long it is at Pandora, I would do that all day long. It's just so damn cool. You just have to experience it. It's like no other ride at an amusement park.
Yeah.
So
Someday.
anyway, that's my fave for the past
Very cool.
week.
Very cool. Well,
What about you?
I think my fave, we were talking a little bit about this, is so panettone, which is Italian bread. For those of you who don't know, it's a Christmas bread and it's got like little fruits and stuff in it. And then they soak it in alcohol and they ferment it, I guess. We were looking this up the other day.
It's got to be if it lasts so long.
Yeah, I mean, and it fermented, it makes it sound gross, but it's really soft and fluffy and it lasts for like literally ever. And my wife kind of introduced me to that, to like toast it and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, this is pretty good. But I made French toast out of it with an old one that we had, and it was like the best French toast I've ever made. And I love French toast. And then I'm like, oh, this would make a great bread pudding. And I looked it up, and obviously everybody else does that because there's all these bread pudding recipes with this stuff. And I made one last night, and it was like, this is literally the best bread pudding I've ever had in my life. And I love bread pudding. Like the best bread pudding I've ever really had before was my grandmother's, and she made it one time in my life. And I had to have pneumonia and be out of school for a month for actually to do that. And then she never made it again. And I don't even know what recipe she used, so I can't do it. And then the other one was, there used to be a place in Disneyland called the Monorail Cafe. And we used to go to Disney for New Year's when I was younger. And sometimes we go to the Monorail Cafe. It was, the parks are getting super crazy and we need a little break. We go down there and they had really, really good bread pudding. But this stuff, holy crap. So good, like so good and so easy. It's because I'm also an easy person. I don't like super complex things. And this was super easy to do. Like you're like done and you're like, whoa, this is super easy. And then you make the bourbon, like there's a amaretto. We didn't have amaretto, so I made a bourbon.
Oh, I
cream
love
sauce with
amaretto.
it.
God, I haven't had that forever.
And that was super easy. Like I'm like, oh, this is super easy. So super, super easy and super, super good. So that was one of my favorite things this week.
Too bad I don't live closer to you. I could have helped you get rid of that.
Oh yeah, we still have some. And then it was, as I telling you again, we had a friend of ours over, and I didn't know until he got there. He has recently become lactose intolerant. My wife is lactose intolerant, and it was just a little gathering of us. And literally what we ate was Detroit style pizza, which is full of cheese. And then I made this homemade eggnog that my sister gave me the recipe on, and it's really, really good. And then we ended with this panettone bread pudding, which is all like milk and cream and bread. So it was literally like this massive lactose dump. So I probably should check in with him today, just make sure he survived the night. But it was good. And for those of us who aren't lactose intolerant, it was absolutely delicious.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, cool. Well, let's not forget, let me make sure we mention what's happened in the podcast this past week. Being that today is the 18th of December. Looks like, so we did previous Sunday, we did a deep dive on episode 227, which is Dr. Eric Tate talking about the state of the economy. Make sure you actually watch that original episode if you want to listen to the deep dive. Personally, I think it'll make more sense. We also have a Thursday throwback. That was Dr. Marcy Larson, who had lost their dear son. Her husband's been on the podcast as well. But she talked about grief, just what she went through, and then how she's giving back to people that are grieving as well. And just really gut-wrenching, just what her family had gone through, but also pretty inspiring what they're doing for the world and how quickly that's taken off. So make sure to listen to that episode. We do have some things coming up this week. And since it's the holidays, I'll just go ahead and mention, does that sound okay?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay. So this next week, actually today, the release is a deep dive on episode 228, which is Dr. Corey Fawcett talking about loving your timeshare. So make sure to listen to the original episode. There's some little pearls there, but we discuss a little bit on our perception or opinions of what we heard that day. And then the Thursday throwback this coming week is Dr. Sarah and Colin Taylor. Any comments on that one?
No, that was fun. Other than Canadian physicians, and we always have the grass is always greener kind of scenario, and we think in the United States something's better. And to get their perspectives, I thought was really, really good. And the way that they've dealt with that, the perspectives of really working too hard and not having time for each other and their families. So the good episode.
Yeah, very, very genuine. These are just really good transparency and conversations about stuff that we all have to reflect on what we're doing, what we want, and what's the right decision for us as individuals or as a family. So great episode. That's from way back. And since we have the Christmas holidays coming up, we decided we'll just kind of give ourselves a little break around that time. So being that Christmas and the New Year's all land on the weekends, I was going to mention that we have put together a year in review for 2022. So look on Christmas Day. That's your Christmas gift.
Dun, dun, dun.
We'll have all the trailers, and actually a couple of little trailers or segments that were never released. So you can take a peek at, it's just a hodgepodge of trailers, get a little nuggets all squished into one. So that'll be episode 231. And then there'll be a Thursday throwback that follows that with Dr. Bradley Block on how his podcast improve his ENT physician soft skills, not just the hard skills we learn a lot of times in medicine, but lots coming down the pike. And just wanted you all to be aware of it, since you may not see us over the holiday weekends, whatever holiday you, if you celebrate any of them. I hope you have a wonderful holiday there. But any comments, Kevin? No, you're just quiet Kevin today.
I just thought this whole holiday season really, I feel like I don't know. I can't say it crept up because I've been aware of it, but it's just been really weird, and I'm having a really hard time kind of figuring out the whole gift scenario. Yeah, I don't know, because I hate just buying stuff just to buy stuff.
Yeah.
But the other thing I was talking to my kids about this, and like, what do you want? And they're like, well, we don't. Or I go, what do you need? And my kids are super good about understanding the difference between wants and needs is a big deal. And they're like, well, I don't need anything, and I'm like, well, what do you want? I'm like, I really don't want anything. And this is both of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love how you guys can delineate between wants and needs, and that you are really satisfied and you understand what's important. But man, it makes it really hard because you just don't have all these wants. So that's like, it makes it hard from the gift giving standpoint.
It's interesting. That's a topic, my husband and I, he has a lot of loves, so it's easy really to figure out, or and nowadays, like at Amazon, it's like if individuals want something, they just get it,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's just as we age, we start recognizing your stuff accumulates so quickly and over time that it makes it a little bit less desirable to accumulate more things. But I've gotten to this place where I just feel like I'd rather, if I come across something that makes me think of somebody and it seems meaningful or useful, or I just want them to know I've been thinking about them, then I might get something. But at the same time, I feel like creating experiences is more valuable at times. So, I recognize that there's ways I can be better at connecting with people and nurture relationships a little better. And I think being a little more intentional about either sharing thoughts or experiences with people probably is the better way to go. Not that I don't enjoy giving or receiving gifts, but like you say, your kids, they don't have any needs or wants. After a while, it's kind of like, well, it makes it easy for them. They don't really need or want anything. But yeah, if you want to give them something, that makes it hard.
Well, when your needs are met,
yeah.
then you don't have a whole lot of wants, or their wants are I don't know, they're always thinking like, well, is this worth getting or not getting? Da, 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 da. And we do talk about a lot of the experience things. Yeah, and I just dislike the whole junk, like just buying something to buy something to say you have to buy because like, oh, I have
Or
you all
just
to buy
because it was
something.
on
I'm
sale.
like, this is stupid. I mean, it really is. It's just dumb and it's wasteful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And we're gonna have. I mean, we always have fun. Like I don't know. I don't know how you make that into a gift. I just love my family. It's like you guys are the best. But and I don't know. We say it all the time, so I'm not sure if we maybe make a big card of it. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can make food together. You can do things together. Like,
I do like to get some weird stuff. Like that is my kind of this like and I guess some people would probably call that junk, but sometimes I find just weird little things,
knick-knack things.
Yeah, I like, canned fish, just like bizarro stuff. I'm like, this is fun. Why would you not want a can of sardines? Sardines on toast. It's awesome.
Just put that in a stocking stuffer, it's just whatever.
And then they're like,
to each his own, but whatever you want, Kevin. I'm probably not going to go with the sardines, but that's all you. But it is the question that you brought up is an interesting question because sometimes we get stuff to fill voids in our life, like we don't have the love or the connection and we reach for food. We think we need or want the food or we need or want the thing. And we want this little hit of dopamine because we're not getting what we want in life. So for all of you out there, I hope you're getting what you really need and not just filling it with junk and stuff. Yeah, but it is life.
It is. Yeah, it is. And I think, just really sitting down and like, sort of like the Thanksgiving is really appreciating your family. And I do like focusing on experience. You were talking about like experiences and I'm like, well, how could we morph Christmas in our household? Because we have done that before. So we've actually gone skiing on Christmas Day. There's some talk this year of doing that again. Like, how can we make it a much more experiential thing where instead of the stuff, we're creating a really memorable experience? So that's something I'm going to be pondering when we get off the podcast here.
Yeah, we'll continue pondering, help others ponder about something and take us out.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for joining us on this Sunday Salutations with the Change Physician podcast. We hope that your holiday season is approaching stress-free or less stress as possible. Make sure that you appreciate your friends and family. That's really the point of this whole thing. Don't worry so much about all the other junk. We will be taking some breaks throughout the rest of the year, but you will still be publishing episodes. As always, you can join us at thechangephysician.com. And until next time, stay well.
Take care.